Welcome to the Sports Show. Mike, Max, Patrick Royce, Lavelle E. Neal, and Sid Hartman. We were not happy last week with, or at least Sid wasn't, with Lou Nanny's performance, so he sent him to Kuwait for the week.
Wow, you're mean.
Or Sid, this NFL thing, man. About the time you think you might watch a game that's not very good, you see this Green Bay Packer Seattle thing. What'd you think?
I've never seen a game like that in my life. I mean, in the space of 44 seconds, they scored 15 points. Unbelievable. I'll guarantee you that Green Bay Packer wide receiver who dropped that onside kick.
Tight end, yeah.
He probably get his walking papers.
Well, I would guess a special teams coach might be being asked some questions because they also faked the field goal.
But I'll tell you this. Pete Carroll, there were reasons why he got fired at Jets, and there's reasons why he got fired in New Jersey.
New England.
I mean, in New England. He's been a winner most of his life. Grant thinks that he just has a magic wand. He says he thinks he's the luckiest coach he's ever seen around. He says anything he touched, even with the Vikings, he suggests something they think would be outrageous, and it would work. And there's a great relationship there. Like, I think we all heard that story that when they were talking about the draft, nobody wanted to take Wilson, and because he only is 5'10" or something like that.
Period.
And Carroll called Grant, and he says, well, how about Tarkington? How tall was he? He was pretty good.
They were giving Schneider a lot of credit.
But
for that
Wilson was terrible.
I think everybody's kind of taking their share now.
Well, Sid did mention Bud, though, and that was my thought watching Carroll, that he's got a horseshoe just like Bud used to have. That was a Bud victory, baby, because you had no business winning that game.
Yeah.
It's worse than the Viking loss to the Falcons.
Yes.
Because the Falcons played good.
Right.
The Falcons played good. The Seahawks played like pigs. 5 turnovers. They were awful, and you screw up enough the last 6 minutes to hand it to them. You know what? This could have long-term impact on Green Bay. Yeah. They don't you think that? I think they're going to be pretty rattled over there, knowing that they should have been in the Super Bowl, and to have to, you got to go back in August and start doing it again. That ain't no fun.
Russell Wilson had a 0 passer rating at halftime.
Yeah. With
the 3 interceptions. 4 interceptions, I believe the stats show that he's the first quarterback to win that game since George Blanda, having thrown 4 interceptions. It was, and then, as you pointed out, Patrick, the defensive back for the Packers gets an interception with 5 minutes left in the flipping game, and he takes a knee. And he had room to run for 30 seconds left in the game, yes. But why you drop it on the ground then?
Yeah, I still thought they were going to win it in
overtime. I just think when you're 4th and 1 on the 1 yard line, you got to go for it. I mean,
still taking the points.
If you don't make it, the other team's on the 1 yard line.
It wasn't even the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it was like that.
Right, yeah. And they've got to go 99 yards.
Second guess himself when he looks at the film and he sees how close they were to the end zone, and not go for it either time. And at the time, they had marched right down the field, so Seattle's defense wasn't playing that good. I thought Wilson was terrible for 3 quarters.
No, he was.
At the end, he won the game for him.
You know, it's just an aside, but it's amazing the connections between Wisconsin and Seattle with Wilson playing for the Badgers, Darrell Bevel, the offensive coordinator, the general manager grew up in Wisconsin.
St. Thomas fella.
St. Thomas, University of St. Thomas. I mean, that's amazing that Wisconsin.
Trent Kirshner, full to Minnesota?
Yes, right there, right?
Yes, he's the right-hand man.
Yep.
Kicking field goals on the road. You can't convert those field goals into touchdowns.
Never kick a field goal from the 2 yard line in. Leave them down there. You know, unless it's going to, like, put you in a position that you're going to win the game.
Right, put you up by 9 or something like that.
I do think that the quarterback, Rodgers, he got hit in the mouth pretty good by one guy. And I think he wasn't the same.
Obviously, he couldn't run
at the end of the game.
I mean, he limped to the sideline just when he ran the ball.
Yeah.
Boy, they made a lot of dumb plays, though. That first interception he threw, the guy never turned around and looked for the football.
Yeah, it looked like a preseason sometimes.
And Eddie Lacy At the end there, he's
See
gonna
that?
he's gonna flip a little forward lateral, and Eddie Lacy turns his back and starts running upfield.
And I think the next play, the wide receiver had his back turned as well, and he ended up throwing it out of bounds. So I don't know. Do you like Tom Brady against Seattle then, or what do you like?
I don't know. I like Seattle just because what you call is pretty lucky.
So is Belichick.
Belichick is too. It's amazing. Carroll coached for Kraft, coached New England against Belichick.
Was Kraft the owner then? I don't remember.
He was running him.
He's been there forever.
He hired him. What I can't understand, that offensive line for New England, they must hold or they must do something. I mean, I never seen a guy get the protection he gets. He's got a week to throw the ball.
But Sid, they never hold the ball. They always they throw the ball 7 yards. Every pass is 7, 8 yards, and then they run the pick over the middle, and get Edelman or somebody running wide open.
But you used to have a theory through Bud Grant that Don Shula controlled the competition in the rules committee so that he could set the rules up that would be advantageous to the type of personnel that he had, right?
That's right.
What would he do? So, like, if he had a run-type team, he'd set up rules that would favor them, huh?
Well, Belichick has got a lot of influence in the National Football League. I don't know what their blocking rules are, but whoever their offensive line coach is outstanding. But the guy here, offensive line coach here, was there for 5, 6 years.
Jeff Davidson?
Huh?
Davidson, you mean?
Yeah, he was there for 3 of their Super Bowls. So why he left, I don't know.
They're so efficient on offense. They're running 4-man offensive lines. Nate Soldier caught another touchdown pass today. Belichick's just playing. When you get rid of the ball in a second and a half, you can get away with stuff like
This,
that.
Patrick, is where New England has trouble. The big one. As much as they've won, they haven't won as many as you'd think.
They haven't won one since '04, right?
Yeah.
They haven't won one since
You know
'04.
what bugs me is that someone like
Brady holds the ball for a long time. He's just back there forever.
But in a short passing game, But anyway.
the thing that bothers me is someone like LeGarrette Blount can smoke weed, not get disciplined, complain about playing time, get fired by the Steelers, and now he's in the Super Bowl.
Here you got two quarterbacks in a game. Brady was about a 4th quarterback in Michigan. Now he's a big star. And that Wilson.
3rd round pick.
Huh?
3rd round pick.
Yeah. And also in college, he wasn't that sensational.
Well, he was really good. They
damn-
just
he was
didn't
good.
think that he was good enough. He had size play in the NFL.
Let's not give him too much credit for today's victory.
No.
He's the reason that it took a miracle to win. He stunk.
Yeah.
Till the end.
He was terrible for a long time, like Pat said.
All right. Take a break, come back.
Not as good as Jay
Sports
Cutler.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
Check out the girls from Greendale Community College.
Give me back my bra, Annie. I'm not even wearing a bra.
They're competitive.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I just won a contest for being hot.
They're provocative.
Please just step aside and make room for a new generation.
And they drive the guys wild.
You know what else is sexy? Annie.
Studying never looked this good.
Bring it in for a boot bump, ladies.
Watch Community.
Tomorrow at 9 on CW-23.
I Sverige är vi kända för att köra världens säkraste bilar. Som ibland innebär ett svårt val. Tillverkade i Amerika? No.
Introducing the new all-wheel drive Chrysler 200, America's import.
Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Chrysler 200 Limited for $199 a month.
I heard you're pretty fast.
Come out, wherever you are, Flash.
Captain Cold, the Reverse Flash.
Heat Wave. Stop doing that. I was thinking of calling myself Pied Piper.
Hey, I assign the nicknames around here. Although that one's not bad.
Does I'm a lot faster than a speeding bullet.
If you ask me, it's a hero.
Are you a cop or something?
Something.
Time to get up now.
See why more people are coming to Audi than ever before at Audi Minneapolis. Experience the legendary performance and handling of an A4 2.0 T Quattro. Lease yours for only $379 a month. Plus, Audi Minneapolis will make your first month's payment. Or try out the luxury and power of an A6. Lease for just $499 a month. The Summer of Audi event at Audi Minneapolis on 394 at General Mills Boulevard and at AudiMinneapolis.com.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs, fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second to none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Stop on by J.D. Hoyt's when you're coming downtown for a ball game or any event. Stop by J.D. Hoyt's first, say hi to Pat and the gang, and you will walk out a satisfied customer. Welcome back to the sports show. Along the line, you going to say something about the NFL?
We say this, the two coaches are completely different. Belichick's a sourpuss.
Yep.
He doesn't talk to anybody hardly. And Pete, he's hugging everybody, and he's a happy-go-lucky guy.
There's one way to win,
goes
right?
out and bowls with the players and drinks with them and all that stuff. Belichick has nothing to do with them.
But it both work, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? So is John Fox is a good hire in Chicago for your team?
Well, I think at the time, there's a chance they could have found a better coach if they took longer. But, they wanted to get this done and move forward. John Fox is an experienced head coach. He's taken 2 teams to the Super Bowl. And like I was telling Patrick during the break, you know how you hire a coach, you usually address the weakest point on the previous team. They hired Mark Trestman because Lovie Smith couldn't figure out the offense. Now they hired John Fox because Trestman wasn't a leader. So they're attacking, they're trying to fix that and go
What
forward.
happened to him in Denver anyway? I never heard what the real fallout was.
I don't know. What happened between
Why
him
would
and
you
Elway?
fire him? You win 4 division
I don't
titles.
know. He and Elway didn't see eye to eye.
It's a mutually agreed
Went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You think Fox
Got to be some
wanted?
personality between him and Elway or something.
You think Fox wanted to go on from Manning and Elway didn't, or
It
vice
could be as
versa,
simple as
or
that. Who
something?
knows?
I wonder if there's some feelers sent out earlier about this because Gary Kubiak backed away from the Bears job, but now Kubiak may go forward and get another job elsewhere in the league. He may have known that maybe the wheels were in motion about Fox to Chicago earlier than a lot of people thought.
Could be. Now, what do we know? What do we know? The NCAA championship game drew 33 million viewers. So that does that take a slice out of the NFL, or do you think it helps the NFL, Patrick?
I don't think it takes a slice out of the NFL. It just shows you that a 4-team college football works perfect.
Yes, it does.
If you go to 8 and then you play 2 quarterfinals in the middle of December, and then all of a sudden it gets to be like the World Series, which is, oh God, are they still playing? Are those playoffs still going on? I think 4 is perfect.
I would like 8 teams, but I think scheduling's the issue. And he's right. Then you got college football going into February.
All they're going to do is turn over their accountants and figure out the money part of it, probably.
That's
or
right.
if they need money down the road, then they'll go to 8.
How many does Super Bowl draw?
More than that.
Well, they draw 70 or 80.
Yeah.
But 33
For a
is
Monday
pretty
night
good
on
for
the cable?
cable.
Yeah.
For cable, biggest cable audience ever, right?
Ever, yeah.
Well, he was on, the Ohio State coach was on that, your Channel 4 show the other night. I thought he did a fantastic job. He talked about how full they are with recruits. They don't have room for a lot of football players they could recruit. I mean, I can't see how he's going to handle at 3 quarterbacks.
Well, Braxton Miller's leaving.
Yeah, he's going to transfer.
He's eligible anywhere he goes. He's graduate.
He's a graduate, so he can leave. He'll go someplace. So
Maybe
he'll have
go
to.
someplace.
Maybe Florida State.
Florida State, they're here, maybe. He's going someplace.
So you got the MVP of the Big Ten, the guys who won national championship, and the third kid who beat the Gophers, whose name I can't remember, the big kid.
But gentlemen, J.T. Barrett.
J.T. Barrett.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, wasn't it alarming how physically superior Ohio State was?
From the beginning
Oregon?
to the
They
end.
just
I was
knocked
shocked.
the Lions just knocked the living hell out of them.
Oregon
It was
State
amazing.
Could not make an adjustment. They kept running the same play with pulling the left guard and tackle.
Right into that hole to the right.
But along those lines, we were talking about a little bit of this before the show. Oregon's pulled 2 out of Minnesota. Ohio State 1 for the next 2 years. They've got those kind of commitments. This thing has gotten so, this recruiting thing now, they've kind of figured out how to find the players all over the country. Does that concern you at all?
Why would you have to come to Minnesota if you're at Ohio?
Well, because they go to a camp and they show well and they compare them to whoever it is they're recruiting in California.
Well,
and they say, we'll take him instead.
They've had a couple go to Ohio. I'm trying to think of the.
Yeah, Willie Mobley went there.
He went
James
there.
Laurinaitis had a very good career.
I'll make
there.
it a prediction that this guy don't last past this.
He might.
Well, James Laurinaitis went and started as a freshman on a national
and they got
championship
drafted by the
team.
Rams and still playing.
I'd say he did okay. James Laurinaitis, the kid from Wyzetta, he started there for 4 years.
He did great.
Yeah.
So Laurinaitis was an exception, but the Mobley went there and didn't make it. I don't think this guy.
Well, how would you possibly know?
How
would you possibly know?
You don't know that.
They don't know.
Well, no.
You're just mad because he's turning his back on the state.
No, but here's what I want to point out is it's a good thing for the Big Ten that recruiting is now national because the population has moved to the South.
Right.
Football has moved to the South. And the old idea of Michigan and Ohio State being surrounded by hundreds of football players in Western Pennsylvania and Ohio and Michigan is not true anymore. Ohio's population is going down. Michigan's population is going down. Pennsylvania's population is going down. You got to, if you're going to be a monster like Ohio State is, you got to recruit national.
Because everybody's coming.
Let me throw something else into this. I was talking to a veteran college coach the other day, and he says that the cheating is going right back to where it was in the 70s when it was bad. And he said the reason is assistant coaches now at colleges get paid so much that their alternative job is so it pales in comparison so much that they'll do anything to keep their jobs. And he says it's the wild, wild west all over. People just don't know it.
When kids from Chicago are starting to pop up at Ole Miss, that's a signal to me that some skullduggery is going on.
Plus these camps are just glorifying nurseries for cheating, aren't they? When you get a kid to come to your camp.
And the head coach just put the pressure on the assistant coaches, and now that assistant coach is making $180,000, he's not making 60, he's making 180. So now it's worth doing something to keep the job.
180.
Well, they got 2
I'm
kids.
talking about your young assistant coaches, the ones that would be out there, you know. I'm not talking about the top guys.
They got some pretty good kids in this class. If they keep that quarterback from Illinois, he was named the most valuable player in that, or one of the most valuable player in that All-Star game, and then a kid in Canada, everybody was after.
I think they're happy with their class. It's interesting. Take a break, come back, stay with us.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Allery's, the original St. Paul sports bar, now with 65 beers on tap.
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Thanks for watching CW-23.
In a world full of compromise, the Audi A3 takes a different path. Get uncompromised design, the style and presence of Audi in a lighter, smaller form, uncompromised performance, a lightning-quick turbocharged engine, and race-bred S-tronic transmission. Uncompromised luxury with standard leather seating and panoramic sunroof. Lease your A3 for only $299 a month. Plus, during the Summer of Audi event, Audi Minneapolis will make your first payment. Stay uncompromised. Audi Minneapolis.
Audi Minneapolis, right off of 394 and General Mills Boulevard. Say hi to Charlie and the gang and test drive a Q7. Just test drive it, or a Q5, especially if you work in downtown Minneapolis where those parking spots are tight. You'll appreciate the power and the convenience.
You were just you were just talking about the, Michigan State, which is having a nice run.
Yeah,
Ohio,
very nice.
Michigan's going to have Harbaugh bringing in players, and Ohio State and the Penn State guy's supposed to be a recruiting son of a gun. How'd you like to be those Indiana Hoosiers?
Right in the middle of it all, huh?
Sitting in the East Division. Good luck. If you have a great year, you might go 2-6.
Better go to those JUCOs, that Jayhawk conference.
They'll be pushing for more expansion so they can change the divisions around some more.
They had one coach who won for them.
And Bobby Knight said they should have kept him.
Bill
right?
Mallory.
And Knight said,
and he won
keep
for
him.
him, and that screwball, that fire Knight, he fired him too.
But Sid, he fired him after an 0-11 season. They were 0-11 when they fired him.
I don't care. Knight said
0-11.
He doesn't think so.
Year.
He doesn't think so. So you know how that goes when you throw those things out.
He had some good year.
Check that out.
He hasn't had a chance to bet that yet, Patrick.
I sit there where Knight would recruit guys for this Mallory.
Yeah.
He brings some Ohio guys in, and Knight.
Well, then he must not have got the good ones, because if he went 0-11.
That's right.
Hey, how about the Wild? Are they back on safe footing? Are you happy with this trade for the goalie?
He's a Wild expert. I got to give
no Wild experts.
I got to give the general manager credit. Why would Arizona trade that goaltender?
Because he's in the final year of a contract.
For a third-round
Yeah,
draft
because he's
trade?
the final year of a contract.
I would think if I'm the general manager for the
he might have a
Arizona
good
team,
backup.
I could get more for a club that's desperate for a goaltender.
He doesn't have a good backup, but he's got Mike Smith signed to a contract for about 5 more years at big money.
His backup is from Rosa or Warlock.
Yeah, well, Mike Lee.
Mike Lee.
Yeah, didn't he play St. Cloud?
3 goaltenders?
Well, no, he traded this guy, and he's going to ride Mike Smith. They're not going to the playoffs anyway, and their backup now is a kid
so they
from
in
Rosa.
essence added a third-round pick.
Yeah.
I was at Allery's last night after the Wild game. Big surprise. The Wild fans were like, "We got Double D now." His nickname is now Double D.
They want it bad, don't
we're
they?
about to go on the road now. Let's calm down. Let's not start closing schools and having parades.
Well, they get Columbus
just
on
won 2
Monday.
games.
No, they're a better
They got a
team.
long way to go.
They're a better team. Their record, sooner or later, they had to start winning, I would think.
But, I mean, it's a tough mountain still to climb to get to that into the playoffs, and that's what this is all about.
Well, they'll have a hard time making those playoffs unless maybe this goaltender will really do a job for them.
Let's not start talking about playoffs here, man. They've got some things they got to figure out. So, the last couple games show that maybe Yo should back off some of Suter's minutes, because the defense has been okay the last 2 games. And this is a small nitpick, Zach Parise's getting killed out there. There needs to be some retaliation once in a while. He was like steel wrestled to the ground during the game yesterday, and there's no retaliation. They've got to show a little grit.
It's funny, Ben
and a little
Kleiman
fight.
was making some interesting points about that in the broadcast.
I'm expert on everything.
He goes to Allery's after their games. You kidding me?
He goes to the game?
No, he goes to Allery's after the games. He doesn't go to the games.
He's got a picture of Stan Mikita on his wall.
That's right. Take a break, come back, Sports Show.
I knew Sam.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law, for all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us. And Edge Marketing and Promotional Products. From T-shirts to swag, featuring over 100,000 products. We can put your logo on anything.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Get Yep, this is where I go Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts, too. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
You're watching CW-23.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender. Beacon Bank, there it is, a harbor of hope that sits and waits and says, come partner with us. Bob Weiss and the gang are waiting to help you live your dreams out. Beacon Bank today. Welcome back to the sports show. Let's move on to the Minnesota Twins. Lavelle, I start with you because they've got the Winter Caravan.
That's right.
Tradition Rich.
The Twins Fest this weekend.
Twins Fest this weekend. What have we learned?
Well, I went out on the first day of Caravan, followed Marler around. They hit a couple of elementary schools. By the way, there's an elementary school in St. Paul that has flight simulators in it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. Well, anyway, you know, Mahler's still trying to, you know, he's reaching out to some place. He's supposed to have a lunch with Joe Mauer this week, so he can get a feel for where Joe Mauer's at, heading into the start camp and everything.
To me, Patrick, you pick up on this. This is a tricky relationship. They're Cretan guys. They're St. Paul guys. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I just tell, I got to tell Joe that whether I'm from Cretan or Bemidji, I got to tell Joe that 4 and 50 ain't hacking it, baby.
That's right.
I need some RBIs. I need 80. I need 80 for that kind of money.
I would imagine it'd be one.
I think the number one thing they need is for Mr. Mauer to have a good year and be healthy all year, which he hasn't done for the last 2-3 years.
He was healthy most of last year.
For most of last year.
He missed 3 weeks though, didn't he? Didn't he miss 3 weeks? He's got to get in better shape. He got to get stronger. You can't hit a ball. You cannot be 6'5" and whatever he weighs, 240, and be doing hitting this little pop
in essence,
fly
are you
out to
saying
left field.
you got to swing from the heels more?
I think he's got to get stronger. I think he's got to work harder in the offseason.
Teams pitch him down and in so much, and he grounds out to second so many times. He's got to figure out that adjustment where he can launch a couple of those pitches right over the overhang in right field.
Are they done making deals?
Terry Ryan told me he was still, just in case there's a pitcher out there, he may show some interest. They're tracking a couple guys who are on the comeback trail down in winter ball. Alexi Ogando was throwing on the side. Johan Santana is pitching in the Venezuelan winter.
By the way, you didn't get mentioned, but you were sure mentioned with that Hall of Fame voting and Pedro Martinez as they went back through the history of who won what.
I voted for Pedro. I just want to go on record. I voted for Pedro.
In fact, I went on Twitter and I asked, do you think Lavelle Neal voted for Pedro Martinez, or is he still out to get him?
Do you like the way Twins are going to go to spring training as of right now?
Pardon me?
Do you like the way the Twins will go to spring training as of right now?
Well, I'm a big Molitor guy, and I think they needed a change, and I think he'll make a lot of difference. I think he'll work individually with these players. They love him, and I think they'll have a different kind of a relationship with Molitor than they had with Gardner.
All right.
Happy trails to Bud Selig.
Yeah, and happy trails.
Last owners meeting.
And that was Sid on Sid.
Yes. Oh, okay. That was Sid on Sid?
Yep.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Sound Point Audiology. Life is worth hearing.